Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, lawmakers are back in Lansing after a 2-week break, and they're already diving into tax changes that could impact your wallet. Plus, Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed is back in the Upper Peninsula for his Open Our Care Town Hall series. And the government shutdown hits day number 21, making it the second longest in U.S. history. We'll have the latest live from Washington, D.C. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Kelly, good evening to you. How's our weather shaping up?
Good evening, Kevin. We are actually in kind of a special place right now, if you will. There's a major low pressure system and the circulation of it is just north of us over the water. But because of that, we are seeing some cloudy skies, dense cloud cover with some showers. We will have a pretty rainy 24 to 48 hours, but there are so much improvements on the way, also with temperatures. But we're still sitting pretty comfortably right now into the mid 40s. We still have 50 degrees down into Manistee at this moment. And for tonight, we'll still see some scattered showers, temperatures dipping into the lower 40s, but there's more rain on the way, and I'll tell you all about it very shortly.
Sounds good, Kelly. Thank you. The Michigan House of Representatives returned to Lansing today after a 2-week break. It's their first session since passing the state's nearly $84 billion budget. Lawmakers quickly took up 3 tax-related bills, 2 that would exempt trade-in values for electronic devices from sales taxes, and another that would let Michiganders claim state income tax deductions for out-of-state college and disability savings plans. Supporters call the proposals consumer-friendly, while opponents warn they could reduce school funding by millions of dollars each year.
I'm willing to have conversations about how we address the school aid fund in the future, but taking, small amounts out of it are really not a big problem.
We'll have more on those bills tonight at 11:10 Central. U.S. Senate candidate Dr. Abdul El-Sayed is back in the UP today. This trip marks Abdul's second visit to the UP and will feature conversations with students, a community meet and greet, and the kickoff of his statewide Open Our Care Town Hall series. El-Sayed says he will bring together healthcare providers, patients, and community advocates for a series of candid conversations about where our healthcare system is failing and how to build something better. El-Sayed's Marquette rally is currently underway at the Marquette Commons. He also has events scheduled tomorrow in Houghton. After tonight, it will mark the second longest government shutdown in U.S. history, and still, there seems to be no way of getting out of this funding fight. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp shares the latest. Rachel, good evening.
Good evening, Kevin. So it's pretty much the same over here on Capitol Hill. It's really both sides of the aisle are not really seeming like they're willing to meet at the middle and work together on this. So it's unclear just how long this shutdown will last. Now, in total, it's been about 21 days since the government shut down. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told reporters he believes the president is willing to sit down with Democrats. He adds that Trump wants the Democrats to approve of their short-term continuing resolution, and then he says the Senate can then later vote on extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies, which is at the heart of the Democrats' fight. Now, if they take up the ACA as a separate vote, it's not likely to pass. The president hosted Senate Republicans at the White House today to show a united front on this shutdown. Senator Thune maintains that there's nothing for them to negotiate, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is criticizing the get-together.
Senate Republicans, well, they're at the White House today, not for negotiations or to work on any path out of the shutdown, but for a pep rally. So as millions of Americans continue to endure the pain of one of the longest shutdowns in American history, Republicans will be celebrating keeping it going. Isn't that a disgrace?
We have negotiated. I don't know what there is to negotiate. This is about opening up the government. We have offered them several off-ramps now. The Democrats want something that's totally untenable.
Now, Kevin, as the shutdown continues, we are still seeing the impacts of this very lengthy shutdown. For example, federal workers are concerned that they're going to miss another paycheck. And we saw recently about 1,400 workers who help supervise some of our nation's nuclear arsenal. They were also furloughed. And of course, there's the economic impact on this shutdown, especially a lengthy one like this one. Kevin, back to you.
Rachel, thank you very much as always. Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Plus, we'll tell you about Up North Advocacy's program allowing men to be more open about their feelings. And later in sports, Mike Ludlum has reaction as NMU football finally breaks their losing streak. We'll be right back.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back and hope you're having a lovely Tuesday. Before we get into the rain that we're going to be tracking, let's kind of look at October so far because a lot of the country has been experiencing a warmer than average and a very dry October, and we do fall into that category. We still have some time left in October, but so far the average temperature 54.4 degrees. That's up 8.6 degrees. It's been very warm, and 0.85 inches of rain, still less than an inch, which we are way down on by about 2 inches. The warmest October and the coldest October, we kind of fall right in the middle of that. I do think we'll fall very average with these next few days, this next week or so, hopefully averaging things out. But look at this, 0.85 inches of rain for the month, and we had 0.6 of it fall just today. We were really needing this rain, and we will continue to need more because we're down about 2 inches, and we were right on the money for those seasonal temperatures. The high is 49, and that's what we hit today, slightly above average for the overnight lows, but most of you were sleeping anyway. Doesn't make a difference. Now I want to show you this much wider view. I don't typically show this far out, but I just want to show you this is pretty meteorologically 101 right now. If you were to take meteorology 101 class, this is a low pressure system with a major cold front kind of making that comma shape, and it stretches all the way from basically where we are in the Upper Peninsula all the way down to Houston, Texas. I mean, I didn't want to go further out to show you how wide it was, but this is a pretty major system, and it's situated just to the north of us. So we have pretty dense cloud cover. It's kind of why the radar looks a bit wonky at this moment, just because the rain is essentially coming right at the radar. But temperatures right now are into the mid 40s. That's pretty seasonal, right? 49 for the high temperature, and we're still into the upper 40s. Not too bad considering that we will have some of that northerly influence with this low pressure system moving very, very soon. But Copper Harbor right now, essentially at this very location of this system, it's a very major system, so very gusty winds up towards that way, but otherwise all the way down into Munising, not too far away, we have calm winds. So a lot of differing things can be happening, but look at that, just I mean, this is beautiful. Come on now. I love stuff like this, the counterclockwise motion, the low pressure system, and then we'll get some of the northerly winds, so it'll be a bit chilly, still cloudy and rainy. You get some lake effect rain, actually. Thankfully, it's not quite cold enough to be seeing snow. I know you see this right here. This is just some indication that things are going to get colder, and we will have very cold or cooler overnight temperatures when we get to Wednesday and Thursday. So I don't know. I'll have to look at things some more. I don't really think we're going to be getting that wet snow just yet, but we could have those overnight temperatures getting to about 34, 36 degrees, and that's kind of that territory where we could get some wet snow. But I don't want to scare you. That's just what we're looking at. We are going to get some much more needed rain from Wednesday, and some lingering showers on Thursday. We'll also start to have those winds diminishing, things dry out and clear out just in time for your weekend. Also some mild temperatures getting to the upper 50s.
Wet snow? I don't like that, Kelly. Thank you for the report anyway. For the last 2 years, an advocacy group from the Eastern UP has encouraged men to normalize opening up about their mental health in a unique way. WZMQ's Andrew Hans has more.
These days, it can be easy to assume that our difficult life experiences just take time to get through. In men especially, it can be common to push emotions further down when simply opening up about those feelings can make a world of difference. Up North Advocacy is making an effort to improve the sincerity and awareness of these conversations through what they call men's circles. Calvin Carter is the director of UNA.
Turns out a lot of guys are just walking around with a lot of questions in a society that kind of expects them to have all the answers. Circle is therapeutic, but is not therapy. We are not trained therapists. We're guys who care about one another.
Cohorts in the Sault Ste. Marie-based organization begin with introductory weekend gatherings where members are encouraged to express honesty and support, generating those raw conversations.
The last big weekend kickoff we had, there was a lot of heavy stuff guys are dealing with, a lot of despair. You know, we're the same brains and bodies that our granddads and their granddads were walking around with, but, you know, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say things are different now.
The program then follows through with 6 skill-building sessions, digging deeper into these conversations before cycling through the process with new members.
Active listening plays a big role in the work that we do. Others focus on emotional awareness. There's one that's focused all on, are you setting the right goals for yourself? So it's a series of skills that they build. And then at the end, you know, we do it all over again with a group of new guys, but they're being supported by the men who've already been through the program.
The UNA hopes to eventually reach more men across the Upper Peninsula.
I'm really excited to try to bring these opportunities to other places in the UP and Northern Michigan. We're just looking for some guys to show a little bravery, step up, and be there for their communities.
Those interested in the program can find more information on WZMQ19.com. Andrew Hans, WZMQ 19 News.
Downtown Escanaba is reviving an old tradition this weekend. The Escanaba Art Walk makes its return on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Select businesses on Ludington Street will host local artists who will have their work on display, and some will even do demonstrations throughout the day. The event is designed to draw people inside small businesses and give creatives in the community an opportunity to share their work with the public.
I'm glad that the artists are getting out there and getting known, because when you're starting out as an artist, it's very hard to get in front of people. There are a lot of local artists putting their heart and soul into what they do, and this gives them a chance to be seen. I think it would be a great day for people to come out.
You can find the full list of artists and businesses participating in the Escanaba Art Walk at WZMQ19.com. Coming up next on Insights, the Jeff and John's Record Show returns to Black Rocks November 1st. We'll get a preview of what to expect when we come back. anything else. Just look at me, because a lot of people can get nervous, understandably.
The whole Upper Peninsula is watching right now. Every county of the UP, 200,000 people are watching right now.
You're out of your mind.
Does that help when you say things like the world is watching?
You know what? If you told me that and it was just the cameras here.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. The ever-popular Jeff and John's Record Show is set to return November 1st. Joining us with the details is, of course, John Teichman himself. John, good to see you again, my friend.
Hey, good to see you too.
All right, so we got another record show coming up. What can we
Yeah.
expect this time around?
Well, this is the last one of the season. So leading up to the holidays and the end of the year and the snow falling, we are returning to Black Rocks Brewery for one day only, Saturday, November 1st, from 11 a.m. until close that day, with thousands of records and all sorts of physical media.
All right, good stuff. And looking at your poster here, John, this one's a little scarier than what we're used to.
This is Sean Wolfman, a local Munising artist. People may remember him from the Inkwell. He's online on the socials at SeanWolfmanArt on Instagram and stuff. And we love that this is an Ozzy Osbourne tribute poster that definitely goes along with the spooky season.
Right, absolutely. All right, so is it a bit of a spooky theme, would you say, for this record show?
Well, I think, we're definitely going to have a little Monster Mash, but also I think something for everybody. Everything from Ali to Zappa, the new releases. Maybe we'll have some Taylor Swift, maybe some K-pop, but also the classic rock favorites everybody remembers, but something for everybody. And on all of those physical formats. So vinyl records, new and used, CDs, cassette tapes, VHS tapes, DVDs, maybe a couple of 8-tracks, posters, and t-shirts like this one.
All right, excellent. Besides all the stuff that's going to be there, John, can you tell people who haven't been to one yet what they're missing out on exactly?
Right, well, Jeff Walker comes all the way up from Detroit, Michigan. It's an over 500-mile drive that he makes. He brings thousands of records. We have our records at the Emporium at 816 North 3rd Street, the Emporium on 3rd, and we bring our materials there and we combine our powers. We've been doing this for 12 years to get music to people. And it's one of those one-day only kinds of events. Black Rocks is located in the heart of downtown Marquette at 424 North 3rd Street, and it's an all-ages event. It's free, and people can really linger and explore, talk with us. And they can also, if they've got records they want to trade in, love to trade in records for new favorites.
All right, excellent. We mentioned November 1st. What time do things kick off, John?
Yeah, so right at which is right around 11 a.m. that Saturday, and then we'll run until close. Or I think it's actually, noon, high noon, sorry, until close. But arrive early for best selection. We really look forward to seeing everybody out there. And people can like and share and comment on our Facebook event page. They can look up Jeff and John's Record Show, and they can find us there. And again, it's Saturday, November 1st at Black Rocks.
All right, and you mentioned that this is the last one for the season, John.
Yeah.
How long of a break do you get before the next one?
Well, until the snow recedes.
Sure.
Until, we're able to roll without the threat of ice and snow. So we'd have to talk to your weather staff about that.
Yeah, definitely. John, just lastly, what's your favorite part of putting these record shows on?
I think it's seeing all the people that I see exclusively at these events that come out. We've got someone from south of Traverse City that's coming. People come from Minnesota, the Sioux, Wisconsin. People that come from great distances, and they're always happy and excited to be there. And it really is that sense of community. And really, when someone walks through the doors, I'm like, Bay City Rollers. I know that person loves the Bay City Rollers, and I'm excited to see them.
Good stuff. All right. My girlfriend's going to be mad if I don't ask if you have any new Queen stuff.
I
John.
actually have what I call my Kevin Queen section. So I've put together 6 to 12 different Queen items on cassette, CD, vinyl, and even a picture disc just for you.
Well, let's name it the Ashland Queen.
Right,
corner.
Ashland Queen section, yeah. The John Deacon's biggest fan Queen section. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
A little bit of an inside humor there, John.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on. Always good to see you, my friend.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. And tomorrow, we're getting the details on the upcoming Pumpkin Walk in Iron Mountain and all the activities that come with it. That conversation's only on 19 News Insights. Mike Ludlam has your look at sports. When we come back, he'll have the highlights from a Division I cross-country meet held in Munising. We'll be right back. Whatever one you want me to put on our window.
Oh, you want me to talk in practice? Okay, I'll talk in practice. I'm just mumbling things. Nothing's happening up there. Good evening, everyone. Head coach Shane Richardson of the NMU football team broke a 28-game losing streak Saturday, defeating Roosevelt 42-21 at Arlington Heights, Illinois. Noah Dobert, number 20, was named GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week, 243 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Jai Wood, number 2, close behind, 233 yards and 2 scores. Richardson wants everyone to know the offensive line played very well.
Both those backs, Dobert and Wood, they were excited to, keep rolling, and, we found a nice groove and a nice rhythm there, and it was great to see. The O-line were just, coming to the table with moving guys and clearing paths, and there were a few runs where those guys weren't even touched, and so when we announced player of the game, and that's even in spite of Dobert getting player of the week in the GLIAC, and then if he didn't get it, Wood would have probably got it, right? So we announced the O-line as being offensive player of the game, and we put all 7 of those guys up there, and the whole team erupted. They were just so excited for them, and they know how important it is.
The Wildcats host Michigan Tech Saturday at noon. The Huskies had a rough time with top-ranked Ferris State. Tech committed 5 turnovers, and the Bulldogs cruised to a 38-10 win over the Huskies. Let's turn to cross country as a big meet. Of course, the UP Finals taking place in Munising. The Houghton girls and boys both wore new uniforms in the meet. The word Gremlins is written in pink cursive in honor of Houghton coach Tracy Welch, who has been undergoing cancer treatments. The Division I girls final started clean. Favorite Ella Fury of Marquette and Red grabbed the early lead with several familiar names hot on the trail. By late in the second mile, Ella Fury was in pretty darn good shape because not many people were around her at that point, as you can see. The only question remaining was, could she finish in less than WZMQ TV 19 minutes? The answer was yes. 18:53.3. Fury won by more than a minute and a half, and the Sentinels also captured the team title. We'll take a look at those. Marquette had a score of 39. Sault Ste. Marie was next with 52, followed by Houghton, Negaunee, and Calumet. This was the fourth win in a row for the Sentinel girls. Individually, Fury's time just under 19 minutes. Maria Mervich of Kingsford was next, followed by Kira Waterman of Negaunee, Holly Cook of Houghton, and Celia Niska of Houghton. The UP Division II girls final only had 35 runners and just 3 full teams. Guessing who would take the lead from the start was not easy for me to figure out. But what was apparent, Rudyard and Hancock will battle for the team title. Individually, a mixture of runners from several schools kept the race entertaining. And the dash to the finish ended up having plenty of drama. Munising sophomore Eddie Bowerman on the left, Rudyard freshman Melissa Kirshner on the right, and Kirshner found an extra gear at the end to win in a time of 21 minutes, 56.6 seconds. Bowerman was less than 2 seconds back with Hancock's Jill Berg third. Team title also pretty close. Rudyard won it by just 4 points, 28-32 with Ironwood third. This was Rudyard's first title in 14 years, and it broke Hancock's 4-year winning streak. Individually, it was Kirshner and then Bowerman and Berg, Remy Kopinen of Jeffers, and Lydia Pelly of Hancock. The Division III girls race had 83 runners and 10 complete teams, but cross-country fans knew which runners would fare well. Pickford's Talia Schreiber, Newberry's Samantha Taylor, Uintral Creek's Bree Bessinen, and Stevenson's Faith Capper jumped to the front after the start. As the runners approached the 1-mile mark, Pickford's Talia Schreiber and Newberry's Samantha Taylor pulled away from the rest of the pack. In fact, Schreiber had the fastest time of the day, 18 minutes, 31.6 seconds. Taylor had the second fastest time at 18 minutes, 48.7 seconds. There was a gap of about 90 seconds until 2 of Taylor's teammates completed the race. For the first time in school history, the L'Anse Purple Hornets captured the UP title. And let's go to the scoreboard here. L'Anse had a score of 51. Uintral Creek, last year's winner, with 99, and that was Stevenson, Newberry, and Brimley. Individually, Schreiber, Taylor, and then Taylor's friends, Abby Taylor and Molly McNamara, with Lily Froese of L'Anse representing the new champions with a time of just over 21 minutes and 2 seconds. Of course, the Lions were winners, the Packers were winners, so we can save arguments on all of that for another weekend. We will be right back.
final look at your forecast, we'll continue to have cloudy skies for tonight. Temperatures into the upper 30s. 40s, not too bad for us, but make sure to tune back in later tonight for another look at your forecast.
Kelly, thank you very much. Sorry to cut you short tonight. We just wanted to extend a thank you to our special guest today, homeschoolers group out of Delta County, Sprout Wonder. Thank you guys for coming today. Appreciate it. Glad we could give you a tour of the studio. What'd you guys think?
It was really fun.
Really fun? Glad to hear it. All right, guys, that's it for now. Have a good one.